Students, today I'm showing you how to do internal citations. Internal citations are a way for you to show the reader, in this case it would be me reading your outline, where you found each one of your facts or bits of information about your research project. Internal citations are not difficult, and so I'm going to give you a few tips today on how to easily do that. There are 4 steps. The first step is you're going to color code your works cited and bold the first word. So I have a student example of a works cited, and what I want you to do is choose 3, in this case I have 4 citations. Choose 4 very different colors. Please do not use yellow as it's very hard to read. So I'm going to go with purple, red, we'll do green, and then blue. Now, once you've done that, you're going to bold the first word in each citation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a citation that begins with the, you always skip the and go to the next word. So in this case, I choose fight. Also notice that I alphabetized my works cited by the word fight, not by the word the. And then Weintraub and Willett. Let's pretend, though, that I had a citation. They both started with the same word. For this, in this case, Willett, Edward, Willett, Sally. If that's the case, you skip the first word that's the same and you go to the next word. Or if that word's the same, you go to the next word. And so for some of you that will be an issue, and if you're not sure, just come see me. But we're going to go back and pretend that is not the case for us today. So I have highlighted, changed the color of each citation, and bolded the first word. There's a reason I'm going to do this, which I'll show you in just a second, but I do want to remind you, you cannot turn in your final works cited looking like a rainbow and with bolded words. So, please, I highly suggest you save one version of your works cited as the final works cited in black and white with all the appropriate formatting. And maybe you could save this as works cited internal citations, because this is going to help you. Now, the second step is you're going to color code all of the information in your outline using your works cited. So if I go to my outline, this is a student example, I'm going to look, and this first bit of information, I didn't know that people had a 10% chance of survival from Ebola prior to my research, so I have to give someone credit. Well, let's say I found this in the, on my website from the BBC. It's purple. So I'm going to go back to my outline and I'm going to make it purple. All of this information I found from my print source, which was green. I do not need to highlight my thesis statement because I wrote that myself. I wouldn't need to highlight or color code my topic sentence because I wrote that myself. This piece of information, looking back at my notes, I got from my online journal. This little bit, though, I found from my print source, which is green. So you'll go through your entire outline and color code. Here's why. Let's look at the next step. Label all information in your outline. Sorry, students. Moving on. In this part, you're going to label all information in your outline and use page numbers if available. So here's how you do that. It's very simple. My first one I found from my purple source. So I'm going to look back. My purple source was BBC. I have BBC bolded. So I'm going to put in parentheses BBC. The BBC was a website and there are no page numbers, so that's all I do. For this next section, it came from my print source, which was green. Weintraub is what is in bold. So I will go back. And up here I'm going to put Weintraub. And this is a print source, and print source always has page numbers. So maybe I found all of this information from pages 14 through 19. You do not need to put the internal citation next to each one in a section. If you put it at the top, I know it would apply to all of this. But please know, if I'm checking up on your work, I should be able to go to Weintraub, that book, look on pages 14 through 19 and find all of this information. Moving down, my red source was the one with fight. Fight in parentheses, and then this again was my print source, which is Weintraub, and maybe this I found on page 13. So students, it's incredibly simple, and I know just by following these directions. The final instruction, you're going to turn in all final drafts in black and white, no color. So I don't mind if for your outline draft you turn in an outline that looks like a rainbow. That's okay for me. But when you turn in your final copy, all of this needs to go back to black. Okay? If you have questions, please come see me. Please reference the Part 2 document on Canvas or watch the video again. Thank you.